trying to run college stuff? Is he trying to run NFL stuff? He spent more time in college recently than NFL, but he's more of an NFL guy. What's that going to look like? Will there be a Jordan sighting during the game? We know there'll be a Michael Jordan sighting. We know he's there. Jordan, yes. Jordan, I'm sure she's there. Will we see her? That'll be one of the many storylines from the game tonight. Whatever happens with that, Chuck will be back at the big chair to talk about it tomorrow, and I'll be here with him as well. We'll have a good time talking college football again. We will see you then here on the Chuck Oliver Show. Thanks to Chris for producing.
So, who is your MVP for termites, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests? It's Northwest Exterminating. You can rely on the mouse to guard your end zone this home tailgating season. Northwest Exterminating has been trusted by thousands of families to protect their homes for almost 75 years. So if you have pests in the house, do what everyone else does. Call the mouse. Schedule your free inspection today by contacting us at callnorthwest.com. Callnorthwest.com.
Hey, Braves fans, some things just get better with time, like your love for the Braves and banking with Truist One Checking. It's checking for life, offering everyday essentials like no overdraft fees and a tap-to-pay debit card. And great extras you'll appreciate season after season, like automatic upgrades as your balances grow. Be ready every inning with Truist One Checking. It's life-ready checking that grows with you. Get Truist One Checking today. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane, the best pregame fan fest in college football. Visit ChampionsLane.com for updates throughout the season. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. As Alabama starts preparations for ULM on Saturday, here are some thoughts from the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Kalen DeBoer, from his Monday press conference.
We're certainly disappointed in some effort situations that happened. I think they came in different ways, and some of it's just flat out got to pursue, got to get there, and it surprises you sometimes when it happens, especially with certain guys, because of the effort that they put in and day out. And I think there were some other things that come across as, hesitancy, as a way I kind of put it. And I think after the game, probably would follow that up and say that there was a couple times where we just got to be quicker to get to a spot and do our job,
I'll have more in a moment.
This year, we honor the most important anniversary ever. An event that reshaped civilization as we know it. A day that would lead to something so flawless that nothing could ever really compare. People have tried to match it, but have failed. This year, we celebrate the 60th anniversary of Guthrie's, the home of the original chicken finger. Just talking about it gets me all choked up. And hungry for a chicken finger. Guthrie's, an original obsession for 60 years.
Join us this afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And there you go. We are back. Yes, we are back. We are live. And of course, today's Tuesday, so that means we are brand new. It's Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 7 o'clock on the dot. Big thank you, Talent Heating and Air, for helping us get a new week started. 256-503-4490. Let their talent do some work for you. TalentHVAC.com is where you can find them online. Thomas, Terry, Jeremy, they got all kinds of stuff. Give them a call today, 256-503-4490. First week of college football is in the books, so that means we do it on a Monday, but we'll do it on a Tuesday since we were not here yesterday. It is your first, the good, the bad, and the ugly from a full weekend of college football. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Plenty of college football. You're good, the bad, the ugly from a full weekend. And I'd imagine plenty of all of it for Alabama.
It was the most embarrassing performance in an opener since the year 2000 when Alabama went to the Rose Bowl as the number 3 team in the country and got blown out by Deshaun Foster, ironically the current head coach of the Sad Sack Bruins, and they destroyed Alabama. It is kind of interesting. Alabama got off to a good start.
Yeah.
Led 7-0 after getting a defensive stop when Freddie Millens, who's basically Ryan Williams, the sequel right now, returned a punt for a touchdown. And basically that was the only play Millens made the entire 2000 season. And Alabama just fell apart from there, ended up 3-8, and we all know what happened. Mike DeBose was fired. Not sure what's going to happen this time, I'll be honest, but it was an absolute abomination. It was embarrassing and unacceptable, and the entire coaching staff should be on the hot seat right now, and I believe they are, because this is a different era of college football. Don't really care about buyouts and all that stuff, because if it's important enough, look, Texas A&M, I know they got more money and they got sense, but they bought out Dirtneck. And if Alabama had to, they can buy out this clown, and he's a clown right now. And he's just absolutely run the program into the ground in just a little over a year. He's 9-5 overall. He's 5-5 in his last 10. And they're probably the softest team in the country. The only bigger embarrassment of the weekend was on what I'm watching on the screen.
Yes,
that's
Bill Belichick.
And that's Bill Over the Hill, because that's his new name. Because basically Belichick's done, and North Carolina got destroyed by a more established program with Sonny Dykes and TCU.
And I feel bad for North Carolina because Gio Lopez, the James Clemens quarterback, got the start for the Tar Heels last night, and I feel bad for how it unfolded for him. But you're right, Bill Belichick, there's a lot of answers and questions there. As for Alabama yesterday, here is Kalen DeBoer doing his best to sum up afterwards the locker room and his feelings of this team going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think our guys did. I mean, defensively, I felt like that we were pretty honed in. Gone back and actually looked at the practice film on some of the reps that we took that were pretty much identical to what we saw, and just trying to figure out, why were we one step or why was our communication just a little bit slower? So it's just, again, these guys have already shown me yesterday how bad they want it and how they're going to respond. And so, I really feel like the tone in the locker room after the game, at least from my standpoint, and how I can address the team is completely different than it was a year ago. And so, we don't need to speak in those terms, but it feels different. There's more of a, just flat out upset. I can use a lot of different words to explain it. But this, really upset about how it went. These aren't learning moments anymore. This is us and our program. And, again, we understand the situation we've put ourselves in and that we're in. But it is a long season. And, let's take care of business this week And then that's going to set up the next week. And then we'll worry about that. That's been our philosophy all along, but we really got to live it now.
Kalen DeBoer yesterday talking about the fact that he doesn't have to say much, that he feels the tone is different. But as far as the performance goes, here is defensive coordinator Kane Womack, who has come under a lot of pressure in the last 48 hours because of the performance of the defense.
I thought we played timid. I thought we let adversity put us on our heels, and we played hesitant at times because of that. And that was, I think, striking for all of us because that's not the identity of our defense. It's never been who we are. That's not who these players are. And I think they are very much looking forward to showing that next Saturday.
Was that, how surprised were you of the just the lack of hustle out there on the field?
Stunned. It's not something I expected. But the thing that, after everything unfolded, nothing got better from last year. It was the same thing. Kalen DeBoer at halftime, saying that, well, we're playing on our heels. Well, coach, they're doing that because that's the way you coached them. And then he's like, and then he says that, and they're giving us some looks we haven't seen. How much Auburn film did you watch? Because I don't give a damn if there were some different formations that he used.
Right.
He didn't do one thing that he hasn't done at UCF, Auburn, or anywhere. Okay? It was a bunch of inside zone. It was a bunch of, eye candy reverse.
Yeah.
And then they barely threw the ball because Alabama's so soft they couldn't get off a block to make any plays. Because Freddie Roach is a slug, and he's the worst defensive line coach in college football. He had nobody ready to play. What did I say all offseason? He better have guys ready to play. They had a true freshman on the field by the third play because he hasn't developed the upperclassmen.
Right.
He's stealing money. He's been stealing it for 6 years. I don't care that Nick Saban hired him. Nick Saban was able to overcome him because Nick Saban's one of the greatest coaches of all time and could adjust, maybe light a fire under a couple kids' butts himself. Freddie sure didn't. I'm not giving Freddie any credit.
Is this a talent deficiency question?
I do think in some ways, yes, in recruiting. I think they have basically a Conference USA group of 5 defensive line, because Freddie is a overrated recruiter because BamaOnline.com says he's a elite. And I'm going to call out BamaOnline.com because it's a joke because I'm sorry, but I'm not Tim Watts, Andrew Bone. They've been, pumping Freddie Roach for years, and the guy is a joke. I'm sorry. All they're trying to do is sell subscriptions. That's all they're doing. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. If you don't want to hear the truth, Freddie Roach is not a good recruiter. He's not a good defensive line coach. The proof is in the pudding on the field. Stop with your bull crap and just get with the truth.
To your point, Florida State only had to throw the ball. They only attempted in a game 14 passes. They rushed the ball 49 times on Saturday. Now, Alabama was trailing, so they had to throw the ball a lot more. That's why they threw the ball 43 times, did Alabama. Let's go out to the phone lines. 256-576-4977. It's your good, the bad, the ugly from a weekend of college football. Bryce is with us. Good morning, Bryce.
Guys, Drew, you couldn't have said it any better than what I'm fixing to say. But what really teed me off is that video after they got beat. They got their ass handed to them. Did you see the video?
I've seen it, but I'm not all. Look, man.
What video? I'm not.
I think he's referring to Jan Pierre and Edric Hill laughing or something, and when as Florida State was taking a knee. But I'm more concerned with what I saw the first 4 quarters. I don't really care what they're doing after.
I am too.
They had already gotten dominated, so I don't really care about that other crap. But the problem is, I'll give you what a microcosm of it is. It's because they're going to get that check on Thursday. So they're getting paid regardless of their output, what happens.
Right.
So that's kind of how it is in the NFL. When you get your butt whooped,
right,
you're everybody's hugging on each other, and then they're like, well, we just got to get it fixed and win next week. That's basicly, and that's kind of the mantra you heard from the coaches of both, Ryan Grubb, who said Ryan Grubb, who everybody, it's the biggest addition of the offseason.
Because he's the guy who's putting the hammer down.
Yeah,
he's
going to
the
be great.
voice. Yes.
Ryan Grubb said Caden Proctor played well, or at least he thought he played okay. What is he smoking? I mean, I watched.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, Caden Proctor gave up the most pressures of any tackle, according to Pro Football Focus. Of course, I don't believe all that Pro Football Focus stuff half the time. Because I had people that I trust tell me that Geno Vandermark and look, man, every one of these players needs to be called out by name if you think they played poorly. I'm not sitting here. These guys are highly paid.
Caden Proctor, to you, this is what Pro Football Focus had on Caden Proctor. 6 pressures on Saturday, gave up 1 sack, 2 hits, 3 hurries, and a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, the whole offensive line played terrible. They played well the first drive. It was a beautiful drive, beautiful by Grubb, beautiful by the players. But after that, it was an F. I mean, they got their butts handed to them. And that's all you have to say.
Exactly.
You have to call it like it is, man. Yeah, you have to call it like it is completely. I mean, and, I just think it's a joke.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, the boy, to me, I don't know if everybody said this, he looks like he's out there coaching a bunch of Pee-wee football players. He's got no demeanor or nothing. I mean, that's what he looks like a Pee-wee football coach. He's got no he's got no demeanor about him, he don't get upset or nothing. Shit, you got to be an asshole to be a good coach.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that.
Well, I mean,
all right. Thanks for the phone call, Bryce. We got a lot of calls today.
Look, there's
one more thing, guy.
Go ahead.
Did you ever think you'd be wishing that you had Wild Turkey back?
Well, I mean, I don't. I wish I had Jeremy Pruitt. He's coaching at Plainview High School.
Thanks, Bryce.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bryce.
That's what I want too. Bye.
All right. Let's get to Bama Bino. Good morning, sir.
What's up, Bama Bino?
Good morning, guys. I heard what you were trying to say before my phone beeped. I wish we had Jeremy Pruitt back.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what we need. But I'm not going to. Maybe if I called Sunday or Monday, I would be hollering and screaming and all this. But I tell you what, guys, I'm not. This is sobering. This right here.
That's a good term to use.
Embarrassing. It's embarrassing. We have the same issues we had last year that even novices that don't study football like you guys know. There's no form tackling. There's no fundamentals. There's arm tackling. They're a step behind. They look like they're lost. And some of them look like they'd rather be with their girlfriends. And I'm being serious. They don't have any motivation or any incentive to do better because of this California rule of paying players. And it ain't just because of that. But the fundamentals you've got to teach in junior high and high school. They ought to know that before they get there. You make the man commit before you break down, make the man commit in the open field. Man, dude gets run over. I can't believe what I just saw Saturday. I'm glad I wasn't drinking. I'd have probably drank myself to death. My Lord. We've got offensive and defensive line is not gotten any better. We need a line coach. We need an offensive and defensive line coach, period. Could have got Bo Davis, and what do you do? Give Freddie Roach. Am I right? Couldn't we have got him?
Yeah, I mean, he went to the New Orleans Saints, but yeah, they gave Freddie Roach a raise and an assistant head coach title. He's making $1 million+ a year to suck.
Go figure that out. What if we do this in Athens in the way we lost?
Yeah.
Will we find a way to get him out of there? We can't put up with this. There won't be nobody at the games.
Well, I mean,
all right, Bambino, thanks for the phone call. Love you, bud.
Bambino. But yeah, I agree. I think the coaching staff has lost the fan base completely.
Right.
I said as much on my X account. It hasn't taken long, but again, it's just the way they continue to lose, and nothing looked any different, on Saturday. And then to top it all off, the biggest two things to me, the two things that are the most disturbing. Number one is the mental and physical toughness of the 17 years under Nick Saban is gone, because we saw his teams always play with mental and physical toughness, because they could fall behind 2 or 3 scores and they could rally. You never felt like you were out of a football game.
Right.
Kalen DeBoer and his staff have rallied once, and that was against the Georgia Bulldogs after they blew a 30-7 lead. So they caught lightning in a bottle one time. Since that time, they have not rallied one time. And that's what bothered me about, after the game, when he was Kalen DeBoer saying, we just got to start faster. We got to start faster on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I'm like, yeah, both sides of the ball. And I'm thinking, of course, coach, because if you don't start fast, you guys are a bunch of front runners, and you basically
you're never going to be able to catch up.
You're not going to be able to catch up. I mean, I'll be honest, it's pretty sobering. And I'll give Bambino complete credit for using that term.
Right.
When Alabama gets up 7-0. We already talked about that.
Good 8-minute drive.
Then it looks like they had a 3 and out to get the ball back. But what happens? You've been practicing all off season. Gus Malzahn's not going to huddle. It's going to be up tempo. Well, Damani Jackson's lazy, and he doesn't get up in his stance fast enough. And so he has to grab a guy on 3rd down and get called for holding. And then to top it all off, you get a holding penalty on Florida State. They're backed up 3rd and 11, and you probably had Dijon Lee in too early, even though we bragged about him all off season. You probably should have had, a guy, and not rotated as many defensive guys this quickly into the game. But Dijon gets beat off the line of scrimmage. I think it was Squirrel White's only catch of the game. He runs right by him and then makes a great catch. Got to help your quarterback. But he made a great diving catch, and they score. And then right after that, Alabama, it looked like they might answer. They had a good drive going, but it's what I call these adversity. Florida State makes some plays, and then you decide to kick a 53-yard field goal. It is a little short, and you don't get anything out of it. And then Florida State goes right back down the field. We saw the loafing from a lot of the defensive guys like Bray Hubbard. And then they go up 14-7. It turns into 17-7. And when it turns into that at halftime, Alabama never got a stop the whole first half. And so you're thinking to yourself, this is Vanderbilt all over again. They can't stop these guys. And it's sobering when it's a 10-point game and you think the game's already over. And certainly it was.
Well, when Nick Saban teams arrived at a stadium, they got off. There was a fear factor there. Yeah. It was worth almost just 3 points. That fear factor for Alabama getting off the bus now is not there. People don't fear playing Alabama anymore because it's the shield is gone. Let's get a break in. 7:18 on a Tuesday. It's the good, the bad, the ugly. Phone lines are full. We'll get right back out to the phone lines when we return.
The Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We are a championship school, and school is in session.
Makes the catch, makes them bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks the tackle, scores.
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide welcome the ULM Warhawks to Tuscaloosa. Our coverage begins at 3:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943. Member FDIC.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit northalabamamortgage.com for more information.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our workhorse special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
We are your home for Sparkman football.
Williams going to keep it. Roll to his left.
He's getting there.
He
He's getting
is
there.
in. Senators take a lead.
What have we witnessed in Harvest tonight?
The Senator Zone, only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Well, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Happy Tuesday morning. 256-576-4977. That's how you can join the program. We have getting, and we would expect this, a lot of reaction filling in from over the weekend. So just so you know, we're doing it fast this morning. So make your point, make it quick, and we're moving on this morning. Phone calls are quick and fast. Let's go out to the phone lines. AC with us this morning. Good morning, AC.
Good morning, guys. How you feeling? Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah,
yes.
It was a rough weekend for the Tide, but a good one for Auburn.
Thank you so much. This is why I love you. Before I was going to say this, you covered. And yeah, you're right. Auburn Tigers, they beat Baylor Bears. So, Mr. DeArmond, you want to continue to take Kalen DeBoer's IQ? It's not the answer. I have been warning everybody. For some reason, you're not listening. Once it gets to the point, you're going to say, I hate AC, but he's right about one thing. Kalen DeBoer is not the answer. And your previous caller blamed the NIL. I'm sorry. All the championship you won was before NIL. It's over. NIL is the reason why Nick Saban retired. Jim Harbaugh made him quit all the way to retirement. So guess what? Now it's a 12-team playoff. You had your cupcake schedule, all that. Now it's a tougher. Get comfortable. As I said, Mr. DeArmond, you and I, we can have disagreement. It's okay. Spoiler, Kalen DeBoer will never, ever deliver a single national championship at Alabama. After this season, get this guy fired. Get a new coach. Thank you.
Thank you, AC. I hope you're deported later. But next call.
Let's get out to Wolverine Dan real fast. Good morning, sir. Okay, let's go Will. Do we got Will?
What's up, Will?
Hey there.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's up?
Doing all right. Yeah, man, Drew, I don't know, man. Just getting beat off the ball on both sides. Who was the lineman that was sitting there puking in the trash can?
Wilkin Formby, the right tackle. Yeah, he was puking in the trash can early in the third quarter. Great sign there.
They're just soft, man. I really don't know what to say. I mean, everything that I was hyped up and excited about in this offseason, where our offensive line, we got a bunch of guys that have got reps last year. Our defensive line, James Smith, LT Overton, Bray Hubbard, all our DBs returned. All these guys that got all these reps last year and showed flashes of greatness. They just showed up, and I ain't never seen this many guys get pancaked, just handled up and down the field like that. Like you were saying, Vanderbilt last year, it very much so looked just like Vanderbilt.
Well, what bothers you is, and this is kind of what occurred under Mike DeBose, is guys got worse as as time went on, and that's what it looked like with a guy like Bray Hubbard. Bray Hubbard, when the injury happened to Keon Sabb last year, he came off the bench and he played great, but he's been in the program now under this staff for a little over a year, and it looks like he's lost his aggression and that he's gotten in his foot and that he's just lost his edge, or however you want to put it. I mean, it looked like everybody had gotten worse in an off season, and that's why I brought up the 2000 Alabama season. And I'll give AC credit. I mean, I let him talk. Didn't say one word till after he hung up. He is right. I mean, it does not look good for Kalen DeBoer at all. I mean, you can't disagree with that. I mean, it's like a Tell the Truth Monday show, but I mean, the entire staff got an F. I mean, nobody did their job because
is this deeper? Is this deeper than missing Tim Keenan and Jim Miller?
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they're both good players, but do you think Tim Keenan is going to be a Deron Payne type guy that's going to wreck the middle of an offensive line? He's a good player, but
Sean Robinson.
No. I mean, he's not. And then Jam Miller, I'm certainly would have probably helped the running game. Maybe they wouldn't have played 5 running backs or whatever. I will say I like the fact that the staff plays multiple guys and plays more players, but I thought especially on defense that they played too many too early. They should have let the defense get settled in as far as the starters and then started working people into the lineup.
Right.
I mean, you're talking within the first 5 plays, you've already seen, London Simmons, the Deshaun Lees of the world. They're already playing the backups 2 or 3 plays in. Are the starters not ready to go? Like, you got to let guys get comfortable.
Get a lather going. Get a feel going.
And I just feel like that the coaching staff mismanaged everything.
Yeah, and that was what Kane Womack kept saying, and he said it multiple times yesterday. Hesitant.
Yeah.
And also Deontay Lawson, he just needs to establish himself as that alpha on defense. I just don't think he's got it.
Well, I mean, he definitely was part of the issue. I mean,
thanks for the phone call.
When you're watching these guys, and I'm talking about,
guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. The defenders, the whole game, they're before the snap, they're pointing. It's like they don't know how to line up, where to go,
right.
And then they were hesitant. And like a guy that I respect, Clint Lamb, said on his social media, what kind of technique is it if your middle linebacker's taking a step backwards? Like, you're not even. And then John Marion Latham, they're dropping him into coverage. I mean, I just think there's schematic issues with what Kane Womack's doing.
Deeper than what Gus Malzahn threw at them.
Yeah, but the biggest thing, like I said, I talked about the mental and physical toughness already.
Yes.
The second biggest thing is this coaching staff in over a year has never been able to adjust. I kind of mentioned it earlier. But when they get behind, they can't stop the bleeding. You know what I'm saying? Especially against a power 4 opponent, somebody good. And they just they can't stop the bleeding. And then, and most of their losses, except for, I guess, Vanderbilt and maybe Michigan, but Michigan was bad because the Wolverines had a bunch of guys that had opted out and still outplayed them. But they've been getting whipped, not just beaten. They've been getting whipped by, multiple scores and by underdogs that, you would think they're huge favorites, and they end up just playing pathetic football.
All right, let's get to Mark from Spring Hill before the break. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Mark.
No, it's Wolverine Dan, brother.
Hey,
okay.
What's up, Wolverine Dan? Sorry, we're getting
fast.
so many calls that it's tough to
let's
transfer them, but go ahead, Dan.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, you mentioned Michigan, so you said the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm going to go with the good, and I'm not going to get on the Alabama thing. That's for Alabama people to call in. So, but our team itself, I know it was New Mexico and a new coach and a lot of new players, and it wasn't ranked. But we went really deep into our bench, which was really good. And Bryce Underwood, the kid just turned 18 3 days before the game. And I'll tell you what, I thought he played pretty darn good. He threw some really good passes. And he didn't show his running capability. I hear he's a really good runner, too. So I like where we're at right now. I really do. I think it's a good start, but we're going to have that and more to play Ohio State. That defense is very strong. So what do you guys think of everything as far as Wolverine?
Well, I just say they handle business. They should, they play New Mexico State. They should handle them.
Now they got Oklahoma next, and that's where it's going to.
We'll find out a ton about them this weekend. Playing the Sooners, and the Sooners had I think they beat Illinois State. Neither one of them played a very good opponent, so we'll know a whole lot more about them coming up this weekend. That's for sure. And so we'll see. Both of them had disappointing seasons last year. We'll see which one is the most improved for sure. Coming up on Saturday.
Well, I like the fact that our running game's good, too. We got a Bama guy, and then we also got an Ohio State kid, and they're both really good runners.
Yeah, Justice Haynes had a really good game. I mean, congratulations. He played well.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it plays out for you guys. It's a long season, and you've got every right to say what you're saying. I don't know. This is going to be difficult for you guys, but you'll get through it. You'll come out the other end.
Thanks for the phone call, Wolverine Dan. It's 7:32. Let's get a break in. When we come back, we'll go back out to the phone lines and we'll check in. We got to check in with Hugh Freeze. We've got all kinds of stuff to get through, but your Bama reaction as well, 256-576-4977.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Relatively dry as we head into the overnight. Temperatures dropping into the low and mid-60s. Rinse and repeat as we head into your Wednesday. A partly to mostly cloudy sky across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the lower 80s with some scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Temperatures drop into the mid-60s overnight.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bag compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
There's a lot of talk these days about who's the biggest. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. Bigger doesn't equal better.
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. We know we're not the biggest. We don't want to be.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're big enough to handle your case and get you the help you need.
But small enough to welcome you. Where you're never just a number. You're part of our family.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Listen to the Woody Anderson Ford Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. Each Friday night with Scott Tyson on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
$5,309. That's the number to Jenny. She is out right now. You can call 256-576-4977 and you can get Scott and Drew. We are in this morning. Let's go back out to the phone lines. Mark from Spring Hill is with us. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Mark.
This is Pat.
Okay.
What's up, Pat?
From Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Pat.
Like I say, man,
We'll just go with
the
just
phone
go
lines are melting.
Yeah,
dude.
well, the reaction is pouring in.
Yeah.
Hey, all I can tell y'all is that directional school DC's got to go. A directional school DC. That's all the hell Alabama can muster. We might as well go on and give up now. But I'm been out of shape with that. Had not had the strength coordinator's got to go. We need Rah back. We need Rah back bad. Scott Cochran, please come home. I'll take you. I'll work with you. I'll sit on top of you where you can't do whatever you was doing. I'll help you. But free of charge. We got to do something, guys. This is horrible. We had people. We had a guy coming around the end and going up through the left side. It was just absolutely. I mean, not left side, but the right side. Hey, it was absolutely horrible. They were dragging our men down the field. We had people with arms wrapped around them, and they were still dragging our guys down the field. But tell me about it, Scott. I mean, how horrible was this?
It was when you watch this Alabama team play right now, and it's very surprising because they look out of position. They don't look like they're hustling. They don't play with energy. They don't play with passion. There's something missing there. And Coach DeBoer says, and Drew, he says it all the time, you know, and we heard it during SEC Media Days. We heard it leading into the season that this Alabama team was, they practiced harder than ever during the fall camp. They went more physical. They were tougher. There was a sense of all buy-in that everybody wanted to be there and that this team was going to, I mean, you expected this team to come out and be headhunters.
Well, I was believing it. But what I saw was not what I was told. But,
yes.
I mean, it was just, hey, now I ain't down on Ty. I'm not down on Ty.
No, I thought Ty was okay. I thought he did a good job.
For Ty had a couple of mistakes.
Yeah, he did.
But Ryan Williams, I think, let him down.
Good.
He was too busy painting his nails.
Yeah. And, hey, what I saw of that crap, hey, but my question is, did Jalen Hale get to play any?
Yeah, he got targeted one time, and the throw was off target. He played some. So did Derek. I They played pretty much. They played a ton of guys. No doubt the freshman from Vegas, Derek. I can't even remember his last name because he wasn't a factor either.
Derek,
yeah, but he ended up
Meadows.
Yeah, Derek Meadows. I could have just said Derek disappeared because he wasn't there either. But Isaiah Horton did nothing. Except say that he
was a little banged up.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of getting tired of that stuff. I mean, he's oh my God, my hamstring hurts. I got to go over here, but you'll pay me on Thursday. But I got to ride this exercise bike. But I'm not out here. But
look, I know we've said a lot of bad about Alabama, but Jeremy Bernard
was the only player that played like a champion the entire game. He's the only guy that I would give an A grade to. I wouldn't give anybody else above a C- or a D, but I thought that maybe Brailsford. I think Brailsford at center played pretty well, but the entire line, it's tough on him because the line struggled.
Look at that Proctor. Proctor let my quarterback get sacked. He let him get hit 2 different times besides getting sacked. That's unexcusable.
I would guess I would give
money as his fat butt's getting paid, and to let my quarterback get hit.
But I will tell you this to make a point, Pat. I know you talked about Scott Cochran, who congratulations, he got a win over Fort Valley State in his first game at UWA. Very happy for him. But I'll just tell you, if Scott Cochran were working under this head coach, the same thing would have happened. It's about the head coach. He sets the tone for strength and conditioning. He sets the tone for assistant coaches working. He sets the tone for preparation. He sets the tone for physical and mental toughness. It doesn't matter. You can't just, like, for example, I had a lot of people messaging me, and he can't coach right now on the college level because of the show cause. If you had Jeremy Pruitt as defensive coordinator, I'm still not sure it would have been better, but I'm still not even sure they would have won the game because you got to have a head coach who sets the tone. And I think, in my opinion, I've seen it happen too many times. The head coach, for example, I'll give you a great example of Mike DeBose. His first offensive coordinator was Bruce Arians, and he got fired after the first year because the offense was bad. Well, guess what? Bruce Arians went on and won the Super Bowl as a head coach. So if you work for a bad head coach, it can sink you. And so Dabo Swinney was on that staff that got fired. He's gonna go into the Hall of Fame as a head coach. If you work for the wrong person, it can hurt you. And right now, Kalen DeBoer, I mean, he's not fired, but his seat should be scorching. And everything that has gone wrong is his fault. Every last bit of it.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to Freddie Roach being out of position. Freddie Roach is a linebacker. Wouldn't Freddie Roach be better coaching linebackers?
Freddie Roach would be better coaching at Bessemer City High School. There's no way he should be coaching at the University of Alabama anymore. They should have gotten rid of him after last year. See, and that's where it bothers me. Kalen DeBoer, I get it.
All right, Pat, thanks for the phone call too, bud. We got to move on.
He kept him and Robert Gillespie for continuity and recruiting and retaining the roster, but you could have gotten rid of him after last year. And you didn't. And some people are talking about getting rid of Kane Womack, but the defense actually played better the second half of the year. But Kane Womack didn't get rid of Freddie Roach either after I heard they had a disconnect. They should have gotten rid of Freddie Roach at both of them.
Is that the only problem on the defense?
No,
with the coaching staff?
The scheme right now, bringing back Kane obviously probably was a mistake.
Right.
I mean, they look like an FCS level defense on every level. I mean, I bragged on Mo Lindquist in the secondary, but the secondary was bad Saturday too. There was nobody that was making any plays. And then you think about it, it was still 24-17. Alabama had somehow gotten back in the game. It was going to be 3rd, 10, or 11. Damani Jackson finally made a play. He tackled the QB basically for a loss. Then he was lucky he didn't get called for taunting because he sat there and stood over him like he'd been playing well all game, which is stupid because there's no discipline in the program. But then don't worry. James Smith's going to come save the day and jump on top of the quarterback and commit a stupid personal foul. And we were told all off season he was going to break out. He did nothing. And again, the biggest thing is there is no discipline in the program. There wasn't any discipline last year, and there's not any discipline this year because there's no fear of the head coach or any of the assistant coaches. There's no fear at all.
Yes.
And so that's the thing. And like I said, it's one of those things where They're soft. There's no fear. They don't feel like they're even going to be benched. And
Right.
so they haven't done anything. And then you got the head coach in his press conference yesterday saying they just got to cut it loose and have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
it
mean,
used to
come
be
on,
when
man.
you lined up against Alabama, if you lined up against a Nick Saban team, you knew you had to be perfect, and you had to be perfect in every way, and you had to match Alabama's intensity. Now, and you always got Alabama's best shot. Now, teams want to beat Alabama. They know they can do it. They know they got to play with intensity. They know they got to do it. And they're going to try doing it even more. And if you're Alabama, you're still going to get everybody's best shot. You still got it. And Alabama's not matching the other team's intensity now. That's the difference. They're not matching it at all.
Well, I know we're about to go to break,
Yes.
and then we'll get back to the phones. But I want to say one thing before we go to break. I said this on the Bama Recap Show. I said it on my BAMS Radio podcast, and I'm saying it now for those that maybe didn't hear it. I'm going to go back to a story that Nick Saban said about when he worked for his father, Big Nick, in West Virginia, and he owned a service station. He said, I worked for my dad. I had to check tire pressure. I had to fill the air in the tires. I had to, wash cars. I had to wax cars. I had to pump gas. He talked about all the things that he had to do. He said, and then I'd have to mow the grass. I would have to trim. I had certain chores and duties that I had to do. And my father would always go back and check it. And if I didn't do one thing right, when I got back when we had dinner that night, there was going to be a reckoning. And he pounded on the table because I was going to have to go back and do it again. There would be a reckoning and consequences for not doing it right. Well, I mean, there's no reckoning right now for Alabama football. And I understand there's people saying, well, Nick Saban couldn't coach that way anymore because, of the NIL era. You couldn't coach with fear. Yes, you can. Kirby Smart still does it. So that's a bunch of bull crap. The problem is sometimes you hire a coach, and I'm not saying Kellen DeBoer's a bad football coach, but sometimes you hire a guy that's a bad fit. You know what I'm saying? And unless something changes dramatically, he's a horrible fit.
And it's just hard to be that guy after the guy.
Yeah.
Because everything he does is still being compared to how Nick Saban does it and how Nick Saban did it. And
if you win football games, everybody shuts up because there's different ways to skin a cat, and he's not winning.
All right, let's get a break. And when we come back, we will go indeed back out to the phone lines. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Have you seen the beautiful new Nexus apartment community right next to UAH? Nexus is designed exclusively for students. You'll love having private bedrooms and bathrooms, a fully furnished kitchen, and incredible amenities like 2 courtyards, a refreshing pool with grilling stations, and TV, gaming, and study lounges, all within an easy walk to campus and your classes. If you want the full collegiate experience, come take a personal tour at Nexus today. Log on nexusonhomes.com to see more, including limited time rate specials.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
All right, plenty of reaction here today on a Tuesday morning. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Let's go out to the phone lines, and let's just do it this way, Brody. Okay, welcome in. Who do we have?
Yeah.
Morning, guys.
Mark from Spring Hill.
Sorry, man.
Yep.
It's the phone system's been getting melted, so we're not real sure who gets transferred over.
Yeah, we're kind of doing this like Alabama. Who wants to talk
up,
next?
How you doing?
Y'all are man. It's popular, but for the wrong reason. But y'all are always popular, but for the
it's
wrong
tough when
reasons,
you get humiliated. That's what happens, man. People want to talk about it.
Well, I'll say this. Now, this has nothing to do with the game. You remember,
Right.
I don't know how many years ago, Alabama, Florida State got left out.
Years ago, yeah.
I know that hadn't been brought up, but I'll say this: Norvell, whatever his name is, if y'all noticed at halftime, he had more fire in his belly as they came together. They had a little. I remember the TV showing they were hooping and hollering, and he was right there with them doing it. Alabama, Nick Saban didn't have to hoop and holler, but you knew that. I think I'll use the word fear. There's no fear. I think the word that I'm afraid DeBoer has is they don't respect them. And when you don't respect someone, they respect Saban, and that might be unfair, but right now with the kind of money that's being paid and the expectations in Alabama, he knew what he was getting into when he took the job. And there's just no fire in his belly. I've not seen it in a press conference. I never heard him say that any of his players, we had a bad practice, we didn't play very well. I didn't even hear him say anything after this game, this loss on me. I mean, I just don't, he just doesn't have fire in the belly. And none of his coaches do. Name a coach that does.
Well, it's supposed to be Grubb, but I wasn't impressed with him on Saturday, and his red zone play calling was, I thought, extremely spotty. I thought he put Ty Simpson into some bad situations because he abandoned the running game. They stopped running the thing because Ty didn't have a running game after the first drive. They rushed for 55 yards, and then he was running for his life for a lot of it with the offensive line playing poorly. And then, like we said, he abandoned the running game, and they drove the ball between the 20s. They just could not finish drives and got stopped on downs, a multitude of times. And so it was just I thought Ty was okay. I thought he competed. I would say I will, like I said, I kind of amended what I said about Jeremy would be the only one to get an A, but the only other ones that would get better than a D would be probably Ty Simpson and Parker Brailsford. Who was really competing at center, competing hard, and people that I respect, talked about that. But again, the thing about it is, Mark, I don't think that this coaching staff understands, how to win in this league. They talk about physicality, but I don't think they really know what you have to do and how physical you really have to be and that's why I think, and I will say too, everybody, Pat was talking about what we were told all off season. A lot of that was coming from inside the building, and Kalen DeBoer is very media savvy. I think he wanted to get that message of positivity out there, but then you look foolish when your team flops like that, and they totally flopped. And the thing that bothers me is I thought Alabama came out with some emotion. I mean, they had a beautiful first drive,
yes,
and they came out and looked like they had a stop on defense. and had a chance to even overcome the penalty to still get a stop, but yet gave up the deep ball. And as soon as they gave up that touchdown on the first drive, and Florida State made a couple of adjustments that Alabama didn't, there was no fight. They just kind of, I thought we were Alabama. I thought they were gonna
lay down and
just
yep.
And they didn't
fold and no.
And one last comment.
Yeah,
we're going Alabama. We're unfortunately, when we play Georgia, we're going to learn about physicality.
Yeah,
playing over there. Every time we go over there, we blow them out. But unfortunately, this team, and I'll say it now. I mean, this is not the sky's falling. This is a 7-win team.
Maybe.
Well, no, and thanks for the phone call, Mark, as well. But look, I know people.
I would say best case 8, but
yeah, I know people are going to say, well,
I would say hopefully they beat Louisiana Monroe. I wouldn't guarantee anything anymore.
I know people are going to say this is overreaction to one loss. It's one loss to Florida State.
It's the way they lost.
And you look at it and say, well, you know what? Last year, Notre Dame had an embarrassing loss to Northern Illinois. They regrouped, rattled off 11 straight wins. They got into the playoffs. Right. So all is not lost. Alabama's season, you still can get to the college football playoffs. You still can get to the SEC championship. Everything is in front of them. But the problem is what we saw on Saturday was a blueprint of what we saw last year.
Right.
And so that's why it feels like, yes, I know it feels like we are overreacting to one loss, but there's trends that have developed that says this is not just an overreaction. It's a copycat of what we saw last year. All right, do we got more on the phone?
Justin, yes.
Yes, okay, let's get to Justin. Good morning, Justin.
What's up, Justin?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Here's one thing I'm going to say, and, we talk about the effort, and the effort was piss poor. It was terrible. But,
yes, sir.
I coached football in high school for 15 years before I got out of the business. But one thing I know, and you guys know this as well as anybody because you covered this area so long, Gus Malzahn as an offensive coordinator. I know all offensive coordinators want to do well on first down, and if you stop them on first down, they don't do as well as an offensive coordinator. But that is very relevant in a Gus Malzahn offense. If you stop Gus Malzahn on first down, he is probably worse than most offensive coordinators that you'll ever see because he wants to go so fast. He's okay, he's getting 5 yards on first down, and his offense is flowing. But if you hold him to 1 yard or even no gain, his offense goes bad. And one thing I know about Kane Womack, and it's always been against a +1 running game, the thing that I always see, and I watch the game from a coach's perspective. I look at it from schematics.
Yes,
and when I watch the game, when you bring a guy in motion and he stops motion inside the box, and you have a quarterback with a running back, that is 8 men in the box on your offense. And you will never, I don't care how good you are, if you only have 6 people in the box on defense against a +1 running game and they have 8, I mean, I can do math, and most people can. 6 cannot beat 8.
Right.
It never fails. That's the problem. That's the main. And that also makes you play slow on defense whenever you're not lined up correctly. And that is bad schematics.
Yeah, I totally agree. Good call.
Thanks, Justin. All right, boy, I tell you what. After Alabama loses, I mean, all of a sudden the rumors start flying around of players getting DoorDashes at 2 a.m, having girlfriends in the team hotel. I mean, it's amazing what one loss can do, and it opens up the door for a lot. Bryan Matthews, we're going to talk Auburn football with our good buddy Bryan Matthews. Auburn got a win Friday on the road at Baylor. Some good, the bad, the ugly from that one in Waco coming up next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Cubs walk off the Braves in 10 yesterday, 7-6. Today, Atlanta sends out Joey Wentz, $1.49 dog against Shohei Imanaga. The Cubs minus 182 at Wrigley Field. Falcons open the season Sunday at home, a 2.5-point underdog to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alabama laying 36.5 at home with UL Monroe Saturday. Auburn 43.5-point favorites over Ball State. Tulane a 10-point favorite at South Alabama. Navy 21.5-point favorites. Indianapolis against UAB. Troy plus 32.5 at Clemson. Liberty laying 6 at Jacksonville State at Amherst Stadium. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour 2, Talking Ball. 97.7 ESPN The Zone is upon us. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center helping us kick off hour number 2. And it has been an entertaining 60 minutes so far. Big thank you to all the phone calls this morning. We have given the phone lines a full test. They work, that is for sure. The Auburn Tigers on Friday, feels like a week ago that they played, but they traveled to Baylor. They, at times, looked good, but they too had some mistakes, especially with some penalties, but they were able to overcome it. They ran 69 plays there on the road. They had 307 yards rushing on 52 attempts, only 108 yards through the air. But when you're able to carry the ball for nearly 6 yards a carry, why do you need to throw the ball so much? But Auburn, nonetheless, able to go on the road, survive, and get a 38-24 win over Baylor.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the bottom line. I picked Auburn 34-24. I said they've got to just find a way to win. And they found a way to win and got Hugh Freeze's third year off to the kind of start that it needed. Jackson Arnold, the stats through the air weren't eye-popping, but they were efficient. He didn't turn it over. That's the huge key. And then he showed the legs that certainly Alabama saw last year when he ran all over the Crimson Tide defense, much like we saw Florida State do on Saturday. It was just a solid game plan by Auburn. They made the adjustment. I think when they came in, I think they wanted to throw the ball more, but as Hugh Freeze said, it was how Baylor lined up, and then you have a good athlete at QB, and then you have the offensive line that Auburn does. We thought it would be improved, and then you have a rushing attack that has not just Jackson Arnold, but you have a backfield that you like the depth, and they were able to use it on Friday night. And we're going to talk about that and more. Since 2001, he's been with auburnsports.com, which is now part of the Rivals /On3 network. We always enjoy our chats and talking about Uncle Keith's Red Sauce, one of his big sponsors, and that is Bryan Matthews. Bryan, good morning, and it's a much better mood in Auburn right now than in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, it really is. I think Auburn, this was a big game for them. They knew how important it was to win, to get the season started off right and give them a chance to, have a good first half of the season with some, ranked road games coming up here in a few more weeks, and then that big Georgia game. So, yeah, this was a really good night for Auburn, and it was good to see offensively no turnovers, which really played this team last year. Good execution and taking what they gave them, and it was good to see Jackson Arnold be a leader, make good decisions, and of course show off his running ability.
Yeah, we were wondering going into the game, like, okay, what would this Auburn rushing attack look like? How would they divide the carries up? Who would get it all? And at the end, Damari Alston, 16 carries. Jackson Arnold was 16. Jeremiah Cobb was 16. They spread, I guess you could say spread the ball, but multiple guys with multiple carries. And we criticized Hugh Freeze for going away from the run at times last year, or not being able to run, period, because of the offensive line. But they showed they were able to do it at least on Saturday.
Yeah, they controlled the line of scrimmage, which is not something Auburn can say on both sides of the ball in a lot of games last year against Power 4 opponents. They absolutely did. That offensive line got after Baylor, and they usually weren't contacting the quarterback or the running back until 2 or 3 yards into the backfield. So I thought that was terrific up front. I liked that Auburn was able to rotate 6 guys in pretty regularly with Isaiah and Tutal Miller getting his opportunities in there. And defensively, I thought the same, right? The secondary played poorly, gave up a lot of big plays, 400 and something passing yards, didn't create a turnover. But that's not because of the job they did up front. They held, I think they held Baylor around 60-something rushing yards, 64 rushing yards, and had 4 sacks, 5 pressures, or 5 tackles for loss. They were really active up front.
Yeah, they were able to make them one-dimensional, and then they were able to play from out front. Even though I will give them credit, though, because the game didn't start ideally well.
It didn't.
They fell behind 3-0, even though they were able to make Baylor kick a field goal. And then it looked like Baylor might take a 10-0 lead, and you're thinking, here we go. But Auburn got a huge stop and then was able to get it going offensively with the running game. And then I thought they, unlike Alabama, I thought they responded well to adversity, because before you knew it, they went on a 17-point run at 17-3. And then they were able to lead at halftime. And then they continued, as you said, to control the line of scrimmage, and then I thought it was a really good job by Hugh Freeze and the offensive staff, Derek Nix, all those guys, Ken Austin. And as I said, as you were coming on, they got 3 guys, 16 carries, so it was hard to just kind of key on one person.
It was. They mixed up really well, I thought, in the running game, and most of those runs were effective too. They had very few that were stopped, short or dropped for a loss. So that was terrific on their part, and I thought that that fourth quarter drive, 12 plays, 75 yards, eating up almost the full half of the fourth quarter, just to sort of ice that game. And then a great call there on 4th and 1. I thought, keep running the ball and scoring that 24-yarder run from Jackson Arnold. I thought that whole drive was just terrific. It was a great put away type drive for early in the season for that team.
Now you look ahead to this week, and obviously if you're Auburn again, you should be able to control the lines of scrimmage. Would you like to see Jackson Arnold throw the ball, try to get this passing game kind of going, because they're going to need it eventually?
Yeah.
But you would like to see them probably try to get a passing game kind of going this week.
You definitely want to see that, and I'm sure that'll be the plan. And I'd be surprised if Ball State played the same 2 deep safeties the entire game as Baylor did and sort of force Auburn's hand like that. And even if they do, I think Auburn will try to force the ball down the field a little bit more, just because they need to get those guys more involved. But I think you'll want to see Jackson open it up the next couple of weeks, get that passing game going, get the confidence there with him and the offensive line and all the things that go with that. So I think they'll try to be much more balanced if they can over the next couple of weeks going into that big game at Oklahoma.
Yeah, no question. I mean, they've got to continue to improve and get better. What do you think? And again, first of all, as far as injuries go, was Champ Anthony the only significant one?
Yeah, broken thumb, surgery out,
Yeah.
I think a few weeks. We'll see exactly. Don't know exact timetable there. And then Damari Alston banged up his shoulder.
Right.
So Euphrates called him, I guess, questionable for this week. We'll see how he responds. I mean, you got some running backs that didn't play a lot. I think Darrell Robinson had maybe one carry in that game.
Yeah.
Omar Madison didn't play. So there are some guys there that I'm sure are ready to step up and get some carries against Ball State.
Hugh Freeze talked yesterday about the penalty situation, and offensively, there was, I believe, one holding penalty that Hugh Freeze said, hey, look, kind of questionable there because of the technique that they use. But defensively, there were a few times that Auburn could have gotten off the field, but they let Baylor off the hook.
Yeah, again, the secondary really struggled. Two holding calls in the secondary and two more pass interference calls. I know one was on a crucial third down, another on a fourth down. So, Auburn needs to play better in those situations. In that back end, I really think the issues were the linebackers and coverage. They played really good run support, and then the safeties on those slot guys, whether it was their tight end or their really, really good slot receiver there, they gave them all sorts of trouble. So Auburn is going to have to adjust to that when it comes up again. I'm sure they're going to face some other teams with a really good number 3 receiver and really good receiving tight ends or whatever in that slot.
Yeah, but I will say, first of all, I feel bad for Champ Anthony because he's coming off of that leg/knee injury too, and that stinks that he got hurt, so early. But I was a little surprised at the secondary struggling a little bit. But I also give Baylor credit with Sawyer Robertson and those receivers. Watching that game, they had some dynamic dudes, man. Auburn was going to give up something, but they did make them one-dimensional. They stopped the run. As Hugh Freeze said, they controlled the line of scrimmage. And then when they had to, they put together the drive to end the game. And I thought, and we all off season, we said, is this Auburn offensive line going to be better? And I thought they were outstanding, Brian.
I did too. I really did. So much better than last year. And, they got some depth now they're establishing, which is also good in case somebody gets banged up.
Yeah.
They gave up 1 sack, and I think, part of that was not on the offensive line. Part of that was on the decision-making, everything there. So I think they feel great about the line of scrimmage right now. The defensive line played good too, had good pass rush, played against the run. So those are two areas of strength coming out of that game for Auburn, something they can build on. But I think for Auburn fans who have watched this offensive line struggle over and over again, who have watched the quarterback struggle because of it partly, and all these things, you can see maybe the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to that. And I know everybody's probably excited to see this passing game get going. I imagine they're going to see that in the next couple of weeks.
Bryan Matthews, kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline as well as on our YouTube channel. Brian, did this game at Baylor, we said there would be a lot of things that we wanted answered as far as this Auburn team goes. Did this performance answer all of these questions for you against Baylor?
No, but it's definitely a process, right? I'm not as Missouri as I was a week ago. You know what I'm saying? I feel a lot better about the line of scrimmage, but this was not a top 5 SEC team, which Auburn will face in the coming weeks, right? This is not a team that's, I don't think, competing for a playoff spot. Maybe they will be. But I do think this did answer some questions for me. I think Auburn looks like a team that should absolutely 100% have a winning season this year. And if things go right, if they can pick up a win, at Oklahoma or at Texas A&M, or maybe beat Georgia, then they got a chance to go into the second half of the season in the playoff discussion. If they don't have a slip up there, so that opportunity is there for this team. We'll see how they develop and how much better they can get, and if the passing game come along, the secondary can make the adjustments. But yeah, this team has a chance.
And I will say too, it's the feeling that I've gotten for the last week or so when there was the buzz started about Hezekiah Harris and he was going to have a final decision and he went to Tennessee. am I wrong in thinking that Auburn wasn't that concerned about that with where recruiting is going right now? If I'm not, you can let me know. But it just didn't seem, as I checked around, that there was a lot of concern about that I think they had already moved on.
Well, I think it helps in a way that Auburn got on that run in recruiting, right? Got Jace Matthews and
Of course.
the 5-star safety moved up from 74th to 22nd, right? And then that's the first setback Auburn's had in recruiting in about a month and a half now. So that helped. I think all things equal, Auburn would have liked to keep Hezzy in their class for sure. But I think the writing was on the wall there for whatever reasons, and they sort of knew this was coming, and there wasn't much they could do about it at this point in time. So that's the way it goes. But I think there's still a lot of confidence with Auburn and this recruiting class and their ability to sign a good class still, despite having that setback back in May and June, or those setbacks.
Well, we said if you win. I mean, it's amazing what happens. I mean, Auburn wins, Alabama loses, and now, with Alabama, you wonder the momentum they're going, how it may flip in a negative connotation with them, because that's just the way we live in the college football world right now. It can flip quickly. I remember Florida last year at this time. It was a disaster.
It was.
And then it flipped. So we'll see how it does. But right now I think Auburn has flipped it back in a positive direction. In your mind, before we let you go, and this is Bryan Matthews of auburnsports.com, what areas offensively and defensively do you want to see improved as you try to make that jump from game 1 to game 2 against Ball State, who, of course, Auburn's a big favorite inside Jordan-Hare Stadium for the home opener?
Well, offensively, the obvious answer, of course, is the passing game. Get that going. Have an efficient passing game, right? Not a crazy passing game where Jackson Arnold's running for his life and trying to make plays. You want to see him, make the right reads in the RPOs, and then when he has to drop back, be comfortable in that pocket and make good throws. You want to see those receivers catching the ball and doing what they do, which is getting yards after contact, yards after catch, and being explosive. The other thing offensively I think you want to see is, although they ran for 300 yards, and I think the tailbacks did good, they only had one run over 10 yards. And I think you want to see a little bit more of second level, make the guy miss, break off that 20, 25-yard run from those guys going forward. So we'll see if that's part of it, or maybe another guy on the depth chart has the ability to do that if they can't. So I think that's a couple of things I want to watch offensively. Defensively, it's all about the secondary, especially the safeties, working on their coverage ability. And the defensive line in the front continuing to play like that against Baylor, pressure, rotate those guys in there, and continue to produce at a lot of different, be productive at a lot of different positions with a lot of different players. I really like that they're rotating these guys.
Well, good stuff.
Yeah,
always great from Bryan Matthews, auburnsports.com. Let everybody know how to connect with you and you guys' coverage as Auburn gets ready for their home opener.
Yeah, tons of coverage from this weekend and Hugh Freeze's press conference yesterday morning, and then we'll be out there here in about an hour for open practice, or a portion of that open practice, and talk to players and have more coverage coming up for you. auburnsports.com. Follow me on Twitter/X at BMATAU.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate you guys. Take care.
Bryan Matthews, kind enough to help us.
Good to talk
break
some
down.
positivity. That's the first positivity we've talked about the entire show. I mean, Auburn handled business, man. They, as far as we always talk about good, bad, and ugly. Well, Auburn was definitely part of the good.
Yes.
So was Ohio State.
Yes. Tennessee.
Tennessee, that Joey Aguilar played well.
UCLA, bad and ugly.
Yeah, the UCLA was part of the bad. They were Nico Iamale Moneybags. He was really bad.
LSU, good.
LSU was part of the good. They showed up, no doubt about it. I thought, as far as, and I thought South Carolina, I thought they handled business against Virginia Tech, no question about it. I think the bad, Arch Manning, I didn't think he was very good. Now, he wasn't horrible.
No.
He wasn't.
But Matt Patricia really
he
had a great defensive
He wasn't
scheme,
a Heisman Trophy candidate. Now, I still thought Texas showed enough that they're going to be a really good football team. Same with Clemson.
Yes.
Because,
that was high-level football.
Cade Klubnik, he was part of the bad. He didn't play well, but I think he'll bounce back. He's a good football player. There's no doubt about it. And then the ugly, we all know what it is. It's Alabama in every aspect.
Yes.
Brutal. North Carolina.
Well, you look at the high-level football that Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Clemson, LSU all played, and then you look at where Alabama's at, and you sit here and all of a sudden you say, holy crap.
And part of the ugly also, and I got to give credit to Heath Klein, and just to pump it, I'll be on the Chuck Oliver Show at 11:30 this morning, but we now have the Chuck Oliver Show for you in the mornings.
Yes, from 5 a.m. to 7.
Instead of Unsportsman crap, which was the national morning show that we no longer have, or Unsportsman Bleed, something, whatever. It's awful. But we have the Chuck Oliver Show, and Heath Klein was sitting in for Chuck yesterday, and he reminded everybody about Jaden Rashada, who is at Sacramento State and went 11 of 27 for 107 yards and a pick. That kid sucks. Okay, he's been to 15 different colleges. He is one of the NIL poster childs for awful.
Well, JT Daniels is just
no. JT Daniels was John Elway compared to this clown. At least JT Daniels had a good freshman year at USC and some good moments at Georgia.
Yeah.
Jaden Rashada's never had a good moment. He has stunk since he got to college.
TJ Finley, by the way, is now on his next school.
Where did he commit? He got kicked
over
off
the weekend, Georgia State.
Oh, okay.
So former LSU, former Auburn, former Texas State, former Western Kentucky.
Didn't he get arrested in
former
Atlanta?
Tulane quarterback.
I wonder if it's a work release. I don't know.
Former LSU, former Auburn, former Texas State, former Western Kentucky, former Tulane quarterback, now Georgia State quarterback.
Good. I mean,
there you go.
Is he going to play next year? Or?
I don't know. He's enrolled and he's ready. I don't know.
Whatever.
All right, let's get a break in. We'll do some more of the good, the bad, the ugly when we
Not
return.
as bad as Rashada.
Jaden Rashada's money, man. He's money. And he's still super.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18-cubic-foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to OwenAppliance.com to learn more. That's OwenAppliance.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. At the Aldridge Law Firm in the Legal Town Center, we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188. Just remember, we're here to help, whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete. We're here to help.
97.7 The Zone.
Now on Saturday, you are willing to give a little extra. Then you
because of your preparation and the things I'm trying to get across to you. And if we do that as a team, 11 at a time, 4 years from now, we'll be walking out of here national champion. And I'll tell you this, I expect nothing less.
97.7 The Zone. The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
Oh boy, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Judy Yarman. This is the first chance we've kind of had to just kind of reflect on everything around college football, everything that you saw over the weekend. You highlighted a little bit of Arch Manning and Texas, Ohio State. Julian saying there, Ohio State able to win that one 14-7. LSU gets that 17-10 win
Ohio
over
State,
Clemson.
Florida State. Those are Auburn. That's your bright spots right there.
Right,
man.
right. The rest of college football, now Missouri did win last week on Thursday. Auburn got that win on Friday. Florida dismantles Long Island University. Woo!
Well, wait a minute. No, we left one out, man. And it's the only time in my life I'll ever root for them.
Okay. What's that one?
Good job, Mario Cristobal in Miami.
Oh!
You beat 1988.
Oh!
So they're a couple of losses away from the clock ticking with another year with no ring.
I'll say this. Carson Beck looked good in his Miami debut.
He did.
But they threw a lot of short passes for him. He didn't have to throw the ball down the field. They did a lot of screens, a lot of quick outs.
It was a high-level football game. I mean, Notre Dame's still in the playoff chase, but it's never a bad thing when 1988 loses.
South Carolina.
Or somebody told me the convicts beat the Catholics, but they did. And you remember the shirt? They made a 30-30 out.
No, yes, Catholics versus convicts.
Yeah, dude got booted off the basketball team for doing it. Now it'd just be an NIL thing. They wouldn't do a damn thing.
Oh, but the biggest story this morning has been the headline is Alabama's dismal. Yeah, Paul Feinbaum says, and I quote, that would be fact. He said he was asked yesterday on Get Up about, hey, should you just go knock on Nick Saban's door and say, let's unretire?
Not going to happen.
And it's not going to happen, no. But, Feinbaum says, yes, get him off the game day set and bring him back today. Because what they have in Alabama, the point is what they have in Alabama is not working. And that is the button that everybody wants to push today, is that the Alabama button is not working.
But, look, nothing's going to happen. Earliest something would happen would be in December. I mean, people say, well, Alabama can't, afford the buyout. Greg Byrne wouldn't want to admit that he was wrong. Look, man, it's a business in every way.
Right.
And it's a different climate. And sometimes, and we all know the clock gets ticking on these coaches. Well, and they say because of the buyout, Norvell, got another opportunity. And he went and made some changes. And we'll see. I mean, all I can say is, it doesn't look good for Kalen DeBoer. That's the one thing that's 110% accurate. But do I know what's going to happen from this point going forward? I really don't. Because the biggest thing is, do the players still believe in their coach? They didn't play hard for him the other day, and they embarrassed themselves. But are they going to get up off the mat and try to prove that they have some give a damn?
All right, so let me ask you this. Because you said the words in this, it's a changing landscape in college football. We look at Kalen DeBoer and we say, okay, is this a Kalen DeBoer problem? Is it an offensive coordinator problem? Is it a defensive coordinator problem? Is it a talent level problem? Should we look at the fact that now, because it's college football, do we look at this whole GM factor and say, Courtney Morgan's the talent evaluator? Did he miss in the portal?
Talent. I think the talent is fine.
Okay.
I think it's coaching. Coaching still matters. You have to acquire the right players, no question. It takes dudes to win, okay? But you have to have the right head coach who can get everybody marching in the same direction. Coaching matters. It just does. Okay. I'm sorry. You can, and if you're a bad fit somewhere, then you can still go on. Like, I think Kalen DeBoer is a really good football coach. He could go somewhere else and win. But I think what he's learning is this is not Washington. I mean, I told Steve Moulton this before our Bama recap show. I said, look, man, the Pac-12 is no more. Okay, we understand.
It's gone.
It's what it used to be. I mean, it's being rebranded. They got new schools. But I'm just talking about when he was at Washington. I mean, they didn't fill the stadiums in a lot of these places, man. You're not even playing in front of a full stadium. There's going to be a ton more scrutiny in the SEC. And one thing that kind of made me raise my eyebrows, and now really does, that I heard last year is the coaching staff, because most of them hadn't been there, was stunned at the intensity and just the overall environment at the Georgia game. Hey, guess what, fellas? You're at Alabama. They're going to be a bunch of these. There ain't just going to be this one. You're everybody's Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then that's why Florida State's fans were rushing the field, and congratulations to them. They got a huge win. But it still matters to beat Alabama, and you've got to be ready. In the Pac-12, you could probably be flat 2/3 of the way through 2/3 of the season.
You could play with a C-level game and get a win.
Because you're not playing anybody.
Right.
And there's no depth in the league, and half the league stinks, and you're not playing in front of packed houses, and most of them are worried about democratic things that don't matter. And so. But then you're in the SEC, and every stadium's packed. Everybody has talent,
high level, high intensity.
And then they're out for blood. They want to beat you.
There's a difference in going to an empty Rose Bowl to face UCLA,
right?
An empty place to go play Stanford and Cal, than it is to go to Ole Miss, LSU.
Heck, I was there last year. Vandy was off the wall.
Vandy, anywhere. All right, we got to get a break in. Ryan Fowler, what's the temperature in Tuscaloosa?
Man.
Well. We'll gauge it coming up next.
I'm going to ask him how many texts he got.
Over 200?
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 80s. We're also talking about the chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley. Some of those could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. We drop into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Wednesday. Once again, talking about scattered showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures climbing into the low 80s.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Calling all UAH Charger students and parents. Welcome to Nexus, the first student apartment community built especially for you. Nexus is brand new, located next to the UAH Fitness Center. Enjoy your own bedroom, bathroom, fully furnished units, kitchen, washer, dryer, study room, and game lounges. And best of all, an easy walk to campus and classes. Call today to enjoy the complete college experience. Move in before fall classes start. 256-683-3939. And go Chargers.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
There's a lot of talk these days about who's the biggest. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. Bigger doesn't equal better.
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. We know we're not the biggest. We don't want to be.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're big enough to handle your case and get you the help you need,
but small enough to welcome you, where you're never just a number. You're part of our family.
The Lackey Law Firm, 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community.
We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials for you to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
Listen to the Alabama Football Recap Show every Sunday at 11. Smoked by Dreamland Barbecue. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Monday went, Tuesday has come, and the emotions of Alabama getting humiliated, dismantled, and embarrassed at Florida State still reign supreme.
Yeah, I mean, it was sobering, and I'll use that term from Bama Bino. I think it was very apropos when he called in the first hour and our phone lines were melting. Our next guest, I'm betting at least 350 text messages, but we'll get him to let us know. But he is on from 2 to 6, of course, as we know, in the City of Champions in Tuscaloosa on Tog 109. But right now, I hope everyone enjoyed that 17-year run under Nick Saban, because it is dead and gone. And this is, as dark a time for Alabama football as we've had in nearly 20 years. And my next guest has been through it. I certainly have. We've all experienced it, and we just never thought it would happen this quickly, but it has. Ryan Fowler, good morning. I know it was a tough weekend.
Yeah, it was a tough weekend. Not the level of Alabama Crimson Tide football, not the standard that they wanted to play with. I think when you look back and you think about everything that we had talked about going into this season, everything coming out of that building, anytime, somebody would go to practice, listen, I went to practice. I'm thinking I made all practice observations. I was not, I'm not able to go to scrimmages because those are blocked out.
Yeah.
But I think when you look back at this Alabama football team, they didn't perform. I mean, listen, everything that we thought it was going to be, it did not look that was coming together. Is it just one game? Yes. Is it just Florida State? Yes. How do we know what Florida State's going to be able to do? We don't. Listen, I look back and I'm trying to be cautious because last year I overreacted after Alabama beat Georgia.
Right.
And I thought Alabama would be a team. Hey, listen, everybody else was talking about Jalen Milroe being the number 1 overall pick. I'm trying to be cautious with that because I look back at the Georgia game, I overreacted because I thought this team at this point, hey, they're going to go win a national title in Kalen DeBoer's first year. And so I'm trying to look back at this game and going, how can you build upon that? But it will take a better effort. It will take a better focused football team. It will take a lot of things, doing things better than what they did on Saturday. I mean, there's no way that you can put a piece of sugar on top of a lemon and make it taste better. It was a bad performance. And whether they were close, you look back at the James Smith mistake, it cost Alabama an opportunity to maybe go up and tie the football game. But it's that little things that this is the new college football. Those little things, you used to be able to overcome those. Now they're magnified. Yeah. And those are the things that will get you beat.
And I think Alabama fans probably have a little bit more fear in them this year because they watch that Florida State game and they see a lot of things that they saw last year. It's the same little things that keep popping up. And it's like, okay, I can understand last year, but when I see the same things and I tune in on game 1, then that's why I'm starting to panic.
I think that is a big part of it, right? It's a confirmation of things that happened last year. And I think that's fair to think that. I don't think it's not fair to think that, to be able to take that and to apply it to, this part of this year. Mm-hmm. And I've said it a couple of times. Listen, you could go out and beat ULM 75-0.
Right.
Okay? And you could allow them 5 yards rushing. And you could throw for 350 and run for another 500. and I'm exaggerating,
right?
But there's nothing you can do against ULM that's going to convince you anything any different. Yes, you got to go win the game. You lose the game, it's another level. But I think when you look at this, it's not going to be fixed. I think you could probably do the same. Yes, Wisconsin's going to be a better opponent. I think you talk about line of scrimmage, you talk about fundamentals, but none of this is going to change. So this noise that you're hearing, it's going to be there until Alabama goes to Georgia and their next road game to see if this team, and you say, well, do they have to win that? And in a lot of ways, they probably need to be able to come out of the month of September. Because I think most of us had them losing that game.
Mm-hmm.
You lose one now that you're not supposed to. Now you got to go and steal one somewhere. You know, is it Georgia? I'm not saying it is or isn't, but none of this noise is going to be there. So it's how do these players respond to that noise? Because they're going to be on social networks. They're going to be able to hear, you know, hey, their coach should lose his job. This coach should lose his job. And all those conversations that people are throwing out are fair because this team played, you know, not up to the standard that Alabama fans are accustomed to. Yes, it's the new college football, but I think when you look at it, it's regardless of the new college football, Alabama failed to accomplish what we thought they were going to accomplish. And a lot of media members, including myself, we bought in to what this team was going to be. I'm not selling stock, but I am a stock market guy. I love to see that stock drop and then you buy it. I haven't jumped completely off of this team yet. I still think that this team could rebound, but it will take a better performance. It'll take because there's signs that you're going, no. I mean, there's things to hit the panic button with. And, you know, you could say, well, Ryan, would you pick 7-5 or 10-2 or 11-1? You know, I'd probably be leaning back to even fewer losses or more losses and fewer wins. But I also still think that this team can rebound. Will they rebound? That's a question that I just can't predict unless I have a crystal ball, and I hadn't found one yet.
Well, and that's the thing I've said all morning. We even said it before you came on. I have no idea what's going to happen. I was asked all weekend, is this a 7-5 team? Is this 8-4? I mean, my gut would tell me looking at the schedule, if they could hold serve at home, but you talked about how they struggle on the road, that it would be a best case 8-4 team. But I'll be honest. I listened to Crimson Tide Rewind on 97.7 The Zone last night. Tyler Watts, certainly was on there with Roger Hoover. And my goodness, at the very end, his last sentence was sobering. He said, hopefully we'll be talking about a win next week. I mean, because again, it goes back to what you're saying, Ryan. We don't know how this team's going to respond because they certainly didn't look locked in. And my biggest thing, my two biggest things, and a mutual friend of ours who's a prominent media member, national, called me this weekend just to gauge the temperature. And and then one of my best football contacts did the same thing. And I told them both, I said, the two things that bother me the most is the complete lack of physical and mental toughness on the team. It's completely gone from Coach Saban because, every time this team faces adversity, they fail. And then the coaching staff failing to adjust really bothers me. And I haven't seen them adjust in over a year.
Yeah, I think when you do look back and you do look at, well, but is it fair to say that they adjusted in the second half of the Florida State game, though? I mean, they got out of that 3-down lineman because they realized it didn't work. I know those are small adjustments, but I mean, it did slow down Florida State, or at least them. Florida State, I think, took the foot off the gas too. I think we got to give credit there, right? I mean, I think they kind of saw that, hey, this victory's there, so maybe I'm giving Alabama too much credit, but they did adjust, small adjustments. But I'm like you. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see, I'd love to see them not adjust on abandoning the run.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, I thought, in that first drive, what was it?
17 plays, 75 yards, and I think they rushed it 12 times.
And almost 8 minutes of clock time.
They had 55 yards rushing on that drive, but then they finished with like 87.
So when you look back at, 12 of the 19 runs come on the first 3 drives, and then it just went away. I mean, it literally just went away. And really, if you look back, I mean, they abandoned the run, probably on that second drive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's probably those adjustments. But no, I would like to see more. And I would, when I look back and I think about this team, and I look and I go, okay, guys, is it talent? Is it talent? It can be at some spots. I think defensive line is a weakness, and I think it's a major, major weakness. I mean, they need that. That's why I look back at the Tim Keenan thing, and I know it kind of got out. That was a quiet thing that I think they were hoping would stay under covers. I think they were hoping that maybe Tim Keenan was not going to be as serious as what it was thought to be. And look at the injury that happened on Tuesday. He goes to Birmingham, gets the tightrope surgery. But I think when you look at Tim Keenan, guys, is that one player, because we're talking about now the parity in college football.
Mm-hmm.
So Tim Keenan has helped that defensive side of the football, not just from a player standpoint, but also to be that leader. I mean, there's a reason why he was elected as a captain. He was the guy that was kind of the alpha on that side of the ball, and to be able to calm a lot of things down. And that created some angst on that defensive side of the football. But I also think when you look at back and the way that they played, the hesitation word, it's a word that Alabama fans don't like. They don't like to hear it. But I do think when you look back at that team, it was almost like they had studied for the test so long, and they had prepared so long that, and I've been there. Guys, I can't tell you how many times I've went in and studied for a human anatomy test and go in, study for the test. Oh, man, I know it. And then something happens in the environment, and I get test anxiety, right? You walk in. I think this team, in a lot of ways, suffered from that, right?
Right.
It's like, but that's just football. They're going to have to adjust. They can't use it as an excuse. They got to go, but in a lot of ways, they did play hesitant. I mean, because you look at them and you're going, guys, they're better than that. I mean, Bray Hubbard was a guy that was one of the highest rated safeties when he came in last year.
Yep.
Did he forget how to play football? So what was it? Is it talent? I don't think so. Ryan Williams, guys, I can't believe that Ryan is that player that we saw on Saturday.
Right.
I think he's a much better player than that. So what was it? Was it the disconnect, as you said? Maybe the adjustments? But some of it was just execution. It was just poor, simple execution. The plays were there. I mean, if you look back at Ty Simpson, there was a player, I can't remember the number, but I think there was a smaller check down, and it was a wide receiver that was wide open. He hits that. Guys, we may not be talking about this particular game the way that we are. It's those little things. James Smith jumping on the quarterback, hitting the quarterback. I mean, the little bitty things that Ty Simpson going for the fourth down and would have picked it up, but he chose to throw it. And those are the little bitty things now that in college football will get you beat, where Alabama teams in the past have been able to overcome those. And that's a disappointment. A disappointment, I think, for not just fans. We as media, we have a sense of pride too, because we want to see our predictions come true. And I'm sure those coaches are probably taking it too.
I like the test analogy there, where you study and study and study, and then you get there and you have the anxiety and you forget it. Do you think the coaching staff then simplifies things? Maybe it was too much. Maybe they put too much in their heads during the time leading into Florida State, where they come out on Saturday and they simplify things a little bit.
I think they can. I don't know if they will, because I think they believe in their system. I think they believe. Listen, Ron Grubb runs a very complex offense. I was talking with a quarterback, and he had called me after he was at the game, and we were just kind of chit-chat, just talking about Ty Simpson. He said, man, they asked him to do a lot. They literally asked, his responsibility, they asked him to do a lot of checkdowns. And he said, what that tells me is they trust him. They trust him. This system is complex. And he was telling me, he's like, my first start, I don't remember having that much responsibility. But then he countered and he said, well, but I also didn't have an earpiece in my ear coaching me through those difficult moments, right? To be able to walk me through things that you're seeing. So when you look at Ty Simpson, I would give him a solid, B minus C. Could he have played better? Absolutely. But I don't think it was. Ty Simpson did not have a rushing attack, regardless however you want to look at it. The offensive line did not hold up for him. When you look at the pressure, Florida State, we went one-dimensional, and what did they do? Well, they said, well, we can get pressure by rushing minimum guys. We're gonna if you're gonna go all pass, then we're gonna back our guys up, and you're gonna have to pick us apart. And Ty Simpson, that's a hard challenge for any quarterback, but just the lack of rushing or the lack of willing to go back to running the football, that was my biggest concern. College football is simple. Stop the rush, run the football. Run the football, and they couldn't do either one. They couldn't stop it or run.
Well, Ryan, I've got to ask you as we're wrapping it up here, it's a pretty yes or no question. At this point, has Kalen DeBoer lost the fan base?
I think he's lost some. Yeah, I think he's lost some. It goes back to the noise that we were talking about with La Monroe. When you look at Wisconsin, the only thing that I think that you can reestablish it's not beating ULM. It's not beating Wisconsin. It's going on the road and beating Georgia. But you got to take care of business. You got to use these next two games to get there. But I think it is a reaction that it's necessary, right? I mean, you have to respond by watching the game. The eyes don't lie. That team did not look as engaged as they were throughout fall practice. I mean, listen, it's not just me, and I don't want to highlight the other media members, but there was media members who had a lot more access than I did. But also to go back to Kalen DeBoer, guys, whether fans have lost it or not, there is no way I don't see that Greg Byrne would make a decision in 2026. I think he's back. I mean, I don't think there's I can't wrap a scenario. So Alabama fans, you have a choice. I mean, you're going to support the program, or as you said, but go beat Georgia. Maybe that would reestablish it. But with the buyout and the lack of money that's currently in college football, I just don't see anything. I got to look at the feasibility of it. And I just don't see that. Could there be some adjustments on the coaching staff? Who knows?
Yeah.
But for Kalen DeBoer, I don't see a scenario right now. I think it would they're going to have more bad losses for that to happen. And I think this team's going to respond the right way. I've heard good things coming out of this practice, but I heard good things in the fall camp too.
Right.
But I think players are embarrassed with the way they perform. And we'll see if, what they say today. Today's player availability, and we'll see how these players tell us after practice.
Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate it. We know it's going to be a busy day for you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Let's get that final break in. Tomorrow's headlines next.
I want to let him talk, man.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our workhorse special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Oh, time just keeps slipping away. I mean, it was, look, we had college football Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. It did not disappoint. I mean, there were disappointing performances, but college football itself did not disappoint. Last night, North Carolina gets steamrolled by TCU and Bill Belichick's season opening debut as North Carolina coach. Sunday, you had LSU. I mean, that was a fantastic performance.
No, it was a high-level game. I watched Ohio State and Texas, too. I know Art struggled, but I think he'll bounce back. And it was a really high-level game as well. I thought Julian Sand did some really good things in his first start, made some big-time plays, and their defense under Matt Patricia was outstanding. But, and then, like I said, I thought the Miami win was really good over 1988. It was a high-level game. And so there were some really good football games around the country. I mean, unfortunately, the Alabama game was for Florida State, congratulations to them. What a huge win for Mike Norvell. They earned it. They won it up front on both lines of scrimmage. They prepared well. They were ready to roll. They played with intensity, and you credit them 100% for their performance.
And the Brett Dearman 2025 season did not get off to a great start for North Alabama. I
guess we could have to put that under the ugly. I honestly, I didn't hear about it till afterward.
55-6, the final there, North Alabama. And then, you know what? I thought Alabama A&M held their own against Arkansas.
Hey, and credit to Jack State, too. They really fought up there against UCF.
Yes, they did. Nearly had that
17-10.
All right, folks, we're back at it tomorrow. 97.7 ESPN The Zone Talking Ball. Good stuff today.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even